What's good, y'all? Welcome back. I am your host, LJ. This is Casual Takes. Today, we're going to discuss the Brock Purdy contract and the state of quarterback contracts around the league. Let's get right into it. So the 49ers paid Brock Purdy 5 years contract. 5 years, goddamn. They gave him a 5-year contract, $53 million a year. This is not bad value, to be honest. As a guy, I'm a Niners fan, of course. I'm not a big Brock Purdy guy because of the limitations on the arm, but he is a good quarterback. Like, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. He has some good stuff he could do. He's a really good scrambler, super underrated. He's accurate. He plays on time. Fantastic anticipation. I just think sometimes he presses too much. He makes some boneheaded throws, and he doesn't have the arm to even get it 35 yards down the field. So it's like, man, it was a throw to Jacob Cowing last season. I forget which game. I think it was the Chiefs game. It was like, man, for 50 other quarterbacks in the NFL, that's a touchdown, bro. And it's just unfortunate that Brock Purdy can't make those type of throws. But I do think he has the ceiling of a top 10 quarterback in this league. Probably nowhere within the top 5 or anything, but he's decent. And $53 million in today's quarterback contract climate is good value. I also saw some discourse on Twitter. Follow me on there at Stop the Cap. You know what I'm saying? They were talking about the no trade clause. To me, that don't really mean nothing, because when are we really seeing these guys getting paid hella money that aren't like, well, not even. When's the last time you really saw a quarterback get traded? You know what I'm saying? Well, Geno got traded. He was making like $30 million, and they had to pay him. Plus, he's like 33. You know what I'm saying? When are we really seeing quarterbacks in their 20s making any type of money, really? Making any type of money. Get traded. You never see that, dog. Like, let's be so for real. You know what I'm saying? The no trade clause doesn't really mean anything. I know I said Brock was a great scrambler in the last segment. I want to put up some clips to really show y'all how good he is, bro. Because when he gets out of structure, he's not a guy that's going to tuck the ball and run. He's also not a guy that's going to only look to throw. You know what I mean? He's very dangerous, super slippery, super elusive. You just wouldn't expect that when you watch him play. You know what I mean? With that being said, though, I do think that Kyle Shanahan saw the in structure stuff from 2022? 2022? Yeah, 2022, 2023, paired with the out of structure stuff that we saw last year from Purdy, and was like, yeah, give me that for the next 5 years, especially at $53 million. I'm pretty sure he thinks that's a bargain, right? Because we know he loves the in structure guys that are accurate, play on time, and execute the offense. And now he has that out of structure feel that he was looking for in a guy like Trey Lance, right? Somebody that can get it done outside of the pocket as well, which he just has not had since what? RG3 in Washington. You know what I mean? So yeah, he's like, we can get the best of both worlds, and we don't even have to pay him crazy money because he's a 7th round pick with a weak arm. I think Kyle Shanahan likes that a lot, to be honest. And I can't really disagree with it. The reason I mentioned that it could even be a bit of a discount that Brock Purdy's going to be playing on is because you see guys getting paid like Tua, Trevor Lawrence, Jalen Hurts, Dak Prescott, Jared Goff, all these guys making more than $50 million a year. None of them are true ceiling elevators, in my opinion. Especially not Jalen Hurts. I have some thoughts on him. I can't wait to put out that QB rankings episode. Anyways, none of these guys are really ceiling elevators like a Lamar, like a Burrow, Herbert, Mahomes, etc., etc. But they're getting paid just like those guys. You know what I mean? And to get a contract done in 2025 and not having to pay, upwards of 55 or 60 million, I think that's huge, to be honest. And we're going to see these guys absolutely break the bank. Can't wait for the Stroud extension. You know what I mean? The Bryce Young extension, my guy. You know what I'm saying? These guys, I'm sure, are going to start getting paid upwards of 60 million. You know what I mean? And yeah, the Brock Purdy contract is not going to look bad, even as soon as next offseason, in my opinion. So, yeah, all these quarterbacks are getting paid 50 million. We're just going to have to get used to it, guys. I'm going to be honest. We're just going to have to get used to it. Which kind of brings me to my next point, which is that quarterback contract inflation has reached a point of no return. You have these guys, Dak specifically, making $60 million. That's like a sixth of the salary cap. You cannot make a championship level roster when you're paying one guy a sixth of your yearly salary cap. It's not possible, dog. It's just not. You know what I mean? The only team that does not have a top 5 quarterback getting paid the extraordinary amount of money that they're getting paid is the Eagles, right? That's the only team that's going to keep their championship level roster around, while Hurts is also around. You know, making $50 million or whatever, right? Because I say that because of their drafting. Harry Roseman is just making incredible selections every single year. Whereas you look at a team like the Niners or the Dolphins or the Cowboys, these teams just cannot keep up because they don't have the salary cap to pay their good players or to bring in talent in free agency. They have to rely only on the draft in order to make their team better. And it's like when you're not drafting like a Howie Roseman, it's just difficult to do that. So I think that going forward, there has to be kind of a middle-class quarterback contract. Like a Kirk Cousins gets paid, or like a Baker Mayfield is getting paid, or like Kyler Murray. The Cardinals did a fantastic job with the Kyler Murray contract. But these are like the caliber of guys that the NFL has to just stop overpaying. You know what I mean? These guys should be realistically earning, $35 to $45 million. And we're seeing those caliber quarterbacks get paid $50 million plus. And you just cannot craft a championship roster while you're paying a quarterback that much. Well, I can't say can't, but like it's very, very, very difficult. Hell, you even see the Bengals, who have one of those top 5 guys that they're paying, that they should pay. I'm not arguing that you shouldn't pay top 5 guys like Lamar, Burrow, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, that type of money. But you see, even when you do pay those guys money, it's still hard to create a championship roster. Forget the non-top 5 guys that are getting paid that type of money. You know what I mean? So it's just difficult. And I think that the NFL has to kind of identify that these guys shouldn't be getting paid that much. All right, y'all, that's about all I have to say. Feel me? Expect more frequency with the videos. I don't got no more school, you know what I'm saying? Turn up. What else? Expect the QB tier list coming on the way. I'm gonna do all my offseason rankings in tiers instead of 1 through 32 or whatever. Just cause it's easier that way. Cause I don't really see these guys, definitively ranked one higher than another. You know what I mean? So yeah. Other than that, like the video if you enjoyed it. If you didn't enjoy it, dislike it. If you agree or disagree with anything that I said, drop it in the comments. Make sure you subscribe as well. I think that's all I had to say. Oh, the haircut. He did too much here. I don't know why he started taking his clippers and touching here and touching here. I don't need that. I don't know why. He said on my mustache. We don't get down like that, bro. And now it's like dark spots all on my face and junk right here and all of. I'll just do it myself next time, dog. I'm gonna tell this nigga not to touch my face, man, because it's LD. It really is, dog. Anyways, though, that's about it, y'all. Peace.